Hello, and welcome to episode 26 of the Read Between podcast, the improvised storytelling podcast where we take the internet's weirdest suggestions, turn them into weird, wacky, and crazy stories through the power of improv. I'm one of your co-hosts, Evan.
I'm your other co-host, Lynn.
And we are back for episode 26.
Yay!
Yay! Our third week in a row uploading consistently.
Go us.
Go us. Go consistency.
I want a gold star. Can you go out and get me a trophy? I never got a trophy as a child.
You never got trophies as a kid?
No.
I mean,
A, I hated sports. B, I was not particularly great in school.
Okay, well, I'll go to the dollar store. I'll get you a little trophy, and I'll put in Sharpie on it, best podcast co-host.
Yay!
And then I'll get you a little packet of gold star stickers and just write "You did it" on all of them.
That's exciting.
Is that good? Is that good enough for you?
That'll make up for my lost childhood memories.
all those repressed childhood memories will be solved with
repressed.
Repressed.
I was so depressed as a child for not receiving a trophy.
That you just repressed all of the bad memories.
Oh my goodness.
So cool. I'm glad I can be of assistance in that realm. But we are back again this week with another set of stories. Just a little note. Thank you to everybody who has been listening over the past few weeks, because these past 2 weeks have literally been the biggest weeks for our show ever. I think we've had so many.
I think this week alone we got almost 100 listens.
Over 100.
Is it over 100?
I think it was over 100. Yeah.
Wow.
Within the past 2 weeks or so, closer to 150 over the past 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really nuts. So thank you again to everybody who's been checking out the show and, been sharing and telling your friends about it. We really do appreciate it. This whole thing relies a lot on word of mouth. We can only use our personal Facebook pages and Twitter pages to spam the show so much.
And I'm sure our family is getting tired of, especially with Facebook. I don't follow any of my family on Twitter, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
my Twitter friends are like, "Yo, kid, I get it." And I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, I still get a lot of family and friends being like, "What is this thing?" So, but to those of you who have stuck around and have kept listening and told your friends about it, we really do appreciate it, and thank you very much. And we hope to continue the quality of episodes that we've been putting out recently until the end of time. At this point, we don't want to see this train stop, so we're gonna keep on rolling. So I think we've done enough talking about other stuff, so let's get right into today's show. So what we're gonna do first, if you haven't listened to the show before, Lynn is gonna go on the subreddit on Reddit called Not the Onion, which has a bunch of headlines that you would think would be fake and would show up on the Onion, but they're actually real. And we're gonna go through them, pick a few that we like, and then pick one to tell the story behind. So Lynn, what do you got for us this week?
BC man arrested after inflatable sex toy sent into Vancouver airspace.
Huh?
British Columbian man was arrested after inflatable sex toys sent into Vancouver airspace.
Okay, Vancouver airspace. I got a little confused with your wording there for a second.
I said it very awkwardly.
It's okay.
Welcome to my life.
I should be used to it now. We've been together almost 4 years.
Yeah, really, dude.
Yeah, but interesting. Inflatable sex toy.
Inflatable,
so a blow up doll, basically.
That's what I'm thinking. Unless if he's that weird 20-year-old that has sex with 20 different inflatable pool toys.
Oh yeah,
remember that guy from TLC?
Yeah, that was on TLC.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was weird.
I think his favorite was a whale.
Yes, it was a whale.
Yeah.
So, but was this a normal size sex toy, or was this one of those 20-foot King Kong ones you see on top of a car dealership?
Are those sex toys?
Well, no, but my thing is how did something that small get that high up into airspace that it's causing problems? That's what's confusing.
What is it filled with?
Helium?
Why would they fill it with helium?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, I guess.
I mean,
if I'm a dude in British Columbia, what is there to do in BC?
I mean, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's
so if
Canada.
I'm a dude and I'm like, oh man, if I got this blow up sex toy and leftover helium for my daughter's birthday, let's see how far this baby gets into space.
I like that you insinuated the fact that this man had a daughter.
He's
leftover helium. Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, what else is there? Why else would he have helium? Just hanging out.
I mean, if I were, If I were a young man and had access to a helium tank, I'd probably keep one around. You never know what you need it for.
Okay, Evan, you are young, so if I go get you a helium tank, you're just going to keep it?
I'm just going to inhale helium and just walk around like a chipmunk all day.
Don't do that.
Why?
I don't think it's good for you. I'm pretty sure like if you inhale too much helium, it's not good for you.
Oh, pooey. All that stuff is...
Oh, pooey?
Yeah, all that stuff is...
Oh, pooey.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's fine. Mm-hmm.
It's an old wives' tale.
The fact that you said, oh, pooey.
I'm a 75-year-old man trapped in a 24-year-old's body.
Apparently.
All right, what do you got next?
Japan has a ninja shortage.
Huh? Japan has a ninja shortage. Ninja shortage. One of the two.
Ninja shortage.
Shortage.
Did I say shortage?
No, I said shortage because
Good
I
job.
couldn't say shortage.
Good job.
But, like, you're not supposed to know that there's ninjas, right? Ninjas are just...
Ninjas is like... I assume a ninja is pretty much like the equivalent of, like, what you think...
Like SEAL Team 6 or something.
Right. Or like an American Spy is. Like,
yeah.
Like, they're supposed to be, you know...
Covert.
Like, you know, incognito sort of thing. You know, a tale of sorts.
Exactly.
But apparently there's a ninja shortage.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that was something they actually kept statistics on.
Right. I'm surprised that there's like a thing out.
Like whenever there's a census that goes out, please mark ninja, not ninja. How many people in your household are ninjas? And what do you got last?
Oh, speaking of spies, child spies use only when very necessary, says Downing Street.
It says Downing Street, so that sounds like a British thing. Child spies.
On The Guardian.
Yeah, so that's British.
Is that British?
Yeah, The Guardian is British or UK, one of those two. But yes, child spies. That's interesting.
Only used when absolutely necessary.
When absolutely necessary.
So, like, when is there an absolutely necessary time
to use a child spy?
And, like, do you have some child villain going around threatening to kill people, and you're like, all right, send in little Timmy to
Well, Lynn, that's a really good question to ask because that's what we're going to tell.
Oh.
Yeah. Segues.
Hey.
Segues are pretty good.
We're finally getting good at those, right?
Hey, I'm trying. Trying.
What are we doing here?
Well, we're going to tell the story of child spies in England and what they're actually used for those very few times. So let's get into that. So MI6 is the British intelligence agency that we all know from films such as the James Bond franchise and everything like that.
Right.
What we didn't know about or what we are unaware of currently is that there's a division of MI6 specifically tailored to child spies. When I say child spies, I don't mean like 13, 14-year-old spies or like young adult spies. I'm talking toddlers.
Like 2, 3 years old?
Yeah, 3, 4 years old.
Okay.
Like they're still in diapers. But they've been trained since birth to be spies.
So they've been trained for like roughly 3 years.
Like they just pop out of the womb and they're like wheeled into like a firing range.
They're given like a pipe and like a nice English suit and go, hey, here's a pistol, learn how to shoot.
Yeah, you remember the movie Kingsman?
Yeah.
It's basically like that except with babies.
So what would be like the equivalent? Like what's the name?
Gosh, that's a good question. The Princeboys.
The Princeboys.
Kingsmen, Princeboys.
You've heard of the Kingsman? Well, here are the Princeboys.
So yes, the Princeboys have been groomed since birth to be England's last line of defense, or the United Kingdom, excuse me, their last line of defense against any foreign enemies or anything like that.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, they've been brought up since birth. So as I mentioned, they pop out of the womb. They go right into training. You know, they start in the firing range where they're given a little Ruger pistol that can barely fit in their hands.
Right. Any toy that they're given is just a deadly weapon.
It's a deadly weapon.
You know that little T-Rex that they have? It's just, you pop off the head. It's a fucking knife.
Yeah. And instead of like blocks, once they graduate from the T-Rex, they upgrade to like a butterfly knife that they're just like swinging around. Like you've seen those people that just sling knives around.
Right. And they're like experts at it by the age of like 2.5.
Oh no, they're experts at it by like 8 months.
Jesus.
Yeah, by the baby's first birthday, they're able to hit a target from 50 feet away, and they're able to throw a knife and a throwing star and can talk and communicate in 3 different languages.
You ever meet a baby that could kill somebody?
Actually, I have.
You about to, son. What's his name?
His name was Jackson.
Jackson.
Yes, his name was Jackson.
All right. Yeah, Jackson, he was a serious baby.
He was a very serious baby.
Yeah. His parents were spies.
Mm-hmm.
His mom was part of the Queen's Ladies.
Yes, the Queen's Ladies.
And the Kingsman was, his dad was Kingsman,
mm-hmm.
and he was a Prince Boy.
Yeah,
he was the Prince Boy.
The Prince Boy.
Jack was sent back in time to kill Hitler.
So the Kingsman and the Prince Boys have developed the technology for time travel, have they?
No, yeah. I mean, you hear about it all the time, right? But like they've had it.
Okay.
They've had it for a while, and they're like, hey, like who was not that great?
Hitler.
Let's nip it in the butt.
Let's just use this technology that we've been lying about having for years on end and just use it to...
I mean, I'm not saying that they had it when it happened, because that would be fucking
Well,
cruel.
no, of course
But
not.
they had it, I would say 1999.
Really?
Yeah.
That long ago?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Almost 20 years.
It's a shame nothing happened with Y2K that would have caused that to go south.
Well, that's why they invented it at first.
Oh, to combat anything, so that if anything happened on Y2K, they could go back in time and
go back and be like, "Hey, you fuckers!"
They could just go back and be like, they could just break the computer that's supposed to start the Y2K virus.
Right.
They find the one guy who was behind all of it and just run into his apartment with a baseball bat and just destroy the computer.
As the ball's counting down
3, 2, 1,
and then he just fucking dies by a bunch of babies.
Bunch of 2 years.
Bunch of babies just murder someone and then go to bed.
A bunch of babies just storm in his front door and it's just goo goo gaga.
In SWAT outfits and shit.
No, remember it's the Prince babies, so they're all dressed in fancy suits and fancy shoes.
Right. They have little bonnets.
Yep, they have little bonnets. They're all carrying little tiny umbrellas that turn into guns.
Their pacifiers look like little smoke pipes.
They look like little pipes, and then when they pop them out, they can just they press a button and it turns into a small knife.
Right.
Yep.
There's knives everywhere.
They have knives everywhere on their person. That's the one thing you'll learn about the Prince Boys is that knives are prevalent in every facet of their life.
They like to make sure people suffer.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Prince Boys have been around for decades and have kept Britain safe from all these different things that have come up. Y2K. Everything like that.
Hitler.
The two things. The two.
Y2K and Hitler.
Y2K and Hitler.
Right.
But recently there's been another power that's come into play. And that's been a malevolent leader who is a 5-year-old named Billy.
Billy's a fucking he's just an asshole.
He's a wanker.
Yeah. He's a
you
wanker.
bloody wanker.
He's a tosser, if you wish. That's the nicer way of saying wanker, I believe.
Oh, okay.
He's just a dick.
Yeah, he's a
prick.
He's a real asshole kid.
Yeah. Billy just thought he could just take over the playground one day.
Mm-hmm.
And
mind you, all the Prince Boys, they have assimilated into society normally. Outside of normal life and normal schooling is where they do all their Prince Boy stuff.
Right. Here comes Billy. And he's just not cool with anybody. He wants to be in charge of the entire playground.
Yeah, every time they go out to recess and Jackson's out there, Jackson climbs the monkey bars and all that, and then Billy will push him off and just kick
dirt in his face.
Yep.
Give him nuggies.
Yep.
He's giving some kids swirlies.
Yeah.
Just like a fucking he is 3. He's as old as the other ones. He looks 6.
Oh Jesus.
He's just a big baby. You look at him and you go, what happened when you came out of your mom? Did you just age 3 years immediately? What?
The thing is, Billy was born 18 pounds 7 ounces.
That poor woman is probably dead.
And his mom carried him to 12 months.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's medically possible.
I'm pretty sure because
can you carry a baby past a 9-month term?
it's not recommended, obviously. Because if you're late, right? Like if you're late with birth, they will schedule the birth, and if the kid doesn't come out by the time that scheduled birth is, they just C-section and take you out.
Okay.
So like, what fucking cruel doctor was like, we'll see what happens.
Or the mom was like, no, keep him in there. Why does it sound Australian?
Because you're really bad at British accents.
I'm really bad at
I'm
British.
pretty sure we've done British accents on the show before, and you're not.
I'm not good at it.
You're not. Like you got work to do. You try to do like the Cockney thing, and it just turns Australian on you.
Yeah, I should just avoid it. But no, she was just, the mother was just like, keep him in there, you know? He doesn't have to come out just yet.
Let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens.
People give up their spots for me on the bus. It's great.
Yeah, why would I want to give that up?
Come the 12-month mark, people are just like, whoa, lady, I see an actual arm. Who did you eat?
It's just waving out from under her skirt. It's just like, hello.
Oh, God.
Hey, you said it.
I didn't mean it like that. I more
or
less meant like you could see the baby within her belly.
Oh, I thought
like popping out of her vag once in a while to get some fresh air and then going back in.
Listen, you didn't specify.
Oh my God.
So you threw the softball. I just hit it.
She's got to be smelly if that happens, right?
I mean,
like if something's just popping in and out of your hoo-ha.
Oh man.
We should stop talking about
I think
vaginas.
we're getting off track.
Right. So Jackson
and Billy became very quick enemies.
Right.
In the school.
And then one day they get assigned a new project.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call their missions. Because I couldn't think of the word mission in time. And what do you know? Jackson and Billy are paired up with one another. Mm-hmm. And they're like, great. I can't bully you on this mission. I gotta take it seriously.
Right, exactly.
I gotta be super serious with this. I gotta do my job or I get fired, which is not ideal as a baby. And they have to work together. They have to work together to take down Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
Oh God, we're gonna die.
I mean,
North Korea is gonna hear this and we're gonna die.
Listen, I really don't think anybody in North Korea is listening to our show. If they,
I'm not saying that a citizen. I'm saying the North Korean government.
They're definitely not listening.
They've
probably blocked all of the ways they could possibly listen to our show. But so the interesting thing was, okay, they were. So you mentioned that they're assigned to take him on. Is this a spy school? Is this a school for spies?
Isn't that what the Princeboys are all about?
Well, no. The thing is, Billy is not a Prince boy. The thing with Billy is, Billy is actually KGB.
Holy shit!
Double
agent.
Billy is a double agent. He is pretending to be a Prince boy reject, but he actually is working for the KGB because once he was kicked out of the Princeboys, he was kicked out because he was actually a little too gruff and a little too muscular for the Princeboys. The Princeboys have to attain a very specific image, and Billy couldn't do that.
Okay.
So they unfortunately had to let him go. But then after that, the Russian government found out, and they're like, "This is exactly what we need. We need."
I know why you chose KGB now. Because you have a decent Russian accent.
It's not bad.
Anyway, continue, Russian boy.
We need to diversify our assets. We need to look at all options, including child spies, and see what we can possibly do. So that's why they went after Billy. They went after Billy because he was big and strong and could knock kids off a swing set.
And Billy kicked ass at their program.
Oh yeah,
he was the top child at Borscht Land. I don't know.
He actually beat a bear cub in a wrestling match.
Yeah, because there's also a bear spy school in Russia.
Bear spy school.
Yeah. They couldn't recruit enough people because it's too cold. No one wants to leave their house.
They just found bears.
So they found bears and recruited them, and there's bear spies in Russia.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So Billy and Jackson are tasked with this project to take out Kim Jong-un.
Yes.
And both Billy and Jackson have their own specific motives in this whole thing.
Okay.
Jackson's is to save the world. Billy's is to eliminate Jackson by whatever means necessary.
Right, because Jackson was the top agent in Princeboys. So
Yes.
taking out Jackson would really knock him down a peg or two.
Yeah.
And he thought, hey, while I'm at it, maybe I can try and take over North Korea,
Yeah.
Go back to Putin or whoever and and be like, hey, you asked for a dead 3-year-old? I got you North Korea. Can we cut that part out?
I mean, he didn't die. We'll give a little spoiler alert. Nobody dies.
No, and I'm not saying I want the kid to die.
No, I know you're not.
But you know what I mean? Like
I know what
Billy
you
thought
mean.
like, oh, I was put to do this one task.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go above and beyond
And give you this.
and so I can get that gold star,
Right.
show my mommy.
That gold star and that gold borscht.
I want that gold borscht because I'm a good borscht.
Oh boy. So Billy and Jackson devise a plan.
Right.
They devise a plan that they're going to sneak into North Korea
Right.
by flying to South Korea and crawling across the border. Because they're still children. They're still
Yeah, they're not gonna get shot.
innocent looking children. They'll crawl to the border. They'll just goo goo gaga.
And the soldier's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, I don't know, man. Put it in like an orphanage or something. Let's just start it there.
Yeah. So they get taken in. They get taken into this orphanage, and then they manage to break their way out very easily because all the tools at their disposal. So as well as their pacifiers being knives,
Okay.
their pacifiers also had lasers in them. So they were able to
Laser knives.
yes. So they were able to cut out with a laser. They were able to cut out holes in the glass windows with a laser and crawl out the windows and leave the orphanage.
Right.
And then also inside their little pacifiers, they had a little. There was basically a supercomputer built into their pacifiers, so that way, whenever they put it in their mouth, like a HUD would show up across their eyes that they could like see all this stuff and all this data and everything.
Oh, man, I want to be a king boy.
Prince boy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Prince boy.
Yes, but yeah, so they had all this. They had all this technology, and they were able to figure out, okay, where exactly is Kim Jong-un right now?
Their booties had little suction cups on them so they could walk up walls and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Their diapers, they never had. Here's the thing. Being a Prince boy, you get access to the top-notch diapers in which it's just a fucking toilet on your butt.
Wait, really? They developed that technology?
Yeah. Oh, man. I want a toilet diaper.
I want a toilet diaper too. I'm almost 25 years old. I want that.
Give me that toilet diaper, boy.
So they find Kim Jong-un's whereabouts,
Right.
and they make their way over. They sneak into the palace where he's staying, and they eventually find him in his war room, basically, where he's plotting his next ventures and plotting what he wants to do next.
Okay.
And so Billy and Jackson both step in, and they break the door down, and they confront him. They're both holding their pacifiers with their knives out. And they just say, Kim Jong-un, your time is up.
Kim Jong-un just kind of looks at him and goes, I don't think I speak English. I don't think he speaks English.
He just looks over at just kind of back and both of them. Like, huh?
Yeah, and then just kind of goes back to work.
Yeah.
And the soldiers start swarming the babies because obviously Kim Jong-un's like, I don't know, like, kill him, I guess.
Yeah.
And the soldiers swarm around Billy and Jackson.
And then what ensues next is basically, if anybody has seen Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the not remade version of it, basically you'll see the scene in the throne room with Kylo Ren and Daisy Ridley and
Right.
and Rey. That's basically what happens. Is they just
kick ass.
They just mow down every single soldier that comes in.
Right.
These
And
two
then-
little babies.
And then Kim Jong-un's like, what? What?
So then both Jackson and Billy are standing there. They're both holding their tiny little pistols at him. And then all of a sudden Jackson's like, all right, you're coming with us. And then Billy drops his fake accent and goes, not so fast, Jackson.
And Jackson goes, Pagey Billy.
And then Billy points his gun at Jackson and is like, listen here, you little twerp. He's mine, but you're not going to take him. I'm supposed to bring you back to Russia with me, alive or dead. I'd prefer alive, but we'll,
Billy. KG Billy.
That's actually his nickname, KG Billy.
Billy.
It's a really good nickname.
Billy, why? Why would you do this?
My home was taken from me when I was very young.
Billy.
My mother and father.
Billy, you're 3.
It was a long time ago. My mother and father put me into orphanage when I was very young.
But you're 3. You're pretty young, Billy.
They didn't want me, so they put me into orphanage. I was not like the other children. I was bigger, faster, stronger than all of them.
Did you say bester or faster?
Faster.
What's with this accent? You're from England.
I'm not from England. I'm from Russia.
Well, since when?
Since I was born, Jackson.
When were you born? And meanwhile, Jackson's kind of like inching his way closer to Kim Jong-un. Like trying to complete his mission, and then he'll take care of Billy.
Yeah. And Billy's like, I'm 5 years old.
But I thought you were 3.
I'm 5. I lied about my age as well. I tend not to keep personal details.
Billy. KG Billy. Do you mind if I call you KG Billy?
Or whatever.
What do you get out of this, buddy?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I really don't know.
Then why do it?
It's the only thing I know how to do. It's all I've been trained to do.
You can do it in Britain.
I can?
Where it's, not cold all the time. Still not that great, but it's not freezing your ass off.
Do I have to fight bear?
I don't think there's bears in Britain. Like, maybe in, zoos, but you don't gotta fight zoo bears.
Then count me in.
All right. And then Jackson turns around and just fucking shoots Kim Jong-un in the face.
Okay, now North Korea is really coming after me. No, I'm kidding.
And with that, after Jackson kills Kim Jong-un, he runs over to his new friend Billy and gives him a high five, like real cool. And he's like, "All right, buddy, are you ready for some chocolate chip cookies and warm milk?"
Da. is what Billy replies.
And then Jackson goes, "Alrighty," and he gets out. He's got a little backpack on, and he just pulls out a neat tray of this huge thing of cookies and 2 glasses of milk. And then he pulls up 2 chairs and a little table and places them down, and pats the one chair for Billy to sit in. So when Billy sits in the chair, Jackson hops in his, and right in the background, right where you. Imagine, a pan out, and you just see Kim Jong-un's body on the floor. And they're just eating cookies, having a good time.
The end.
The end.
Well, that was interesting.
That was very interesting.
That was very interesting. That was fun. That was a fun little story.
Yeah.
It's always fun to make children, super spies.
Be the KG Billy to my Jackson.
Oh, yes, I will be your KG Billy. I still got to work on that accent. It's not great.
Oh my God.
It's not great.
Anyway.
I
think it's time to cut the break.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's time to take a break. We got another shout out for another show I'm going to do this week and some other stuff. So,
ooh la la.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break. We will see you after that with another story. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Evan here. Just wanted to take this week's break to shout out another friend of ours and shout out another podcast that has just recently started up that we think you'd be interested in. This one is a little bit more of a niche podcast, but it's definitely one that's really really interesting and we really like and is a good friend of ours and we want to share the spotlight with them. So this week's shout out goes to the Never Done Again podcast. This podcast is an extension of the Never Done Again blog written by Kat Aldrich. Kat Aldrich is a Lehigh Valley blogger who has written for years extensively about the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania improv comedy community. and she has now decided to start a podcast about the improv comedy community here in the Lehigh Valley. So if you've seen her blog before, which is actually neverdoneagain.wordpress.com, she does a lot of interviews and a lot of articles about different shows and different people that are involved in the Lehigh Valley comedy scene. So now she started a podcast with herself and her co-host / producer, Joe Rovner. Joe is a also local improv comedian who's done a lot of projects. I've actually worked with him in the past on a team, and these two have created a podcast talking about all things Lehigh Valley improv comedy, and it's a really fun podcast to listen to. They've just put out their first episode a couple weeks ago, detailing a whole bunch about what they want to do and a lot of things they got in the pipeline. So definitely recommend you guys check it out. Check out what they got going on. So you can actually find it on YouTube. It's the Never Done Again podcast. Just search that and you'll find it there. And I believe they're looking to release episodes every month. So stay tuned for that and give them a listen. Let them know you found out about them from Read Between. Also this week, I wanted to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, James Anderson. James is the host of Unabashedly Obsessed. He has another podcast along with Unabashedly Obsessed called Blink and You'll Miss It. Blink and You'll Miss It is a Blink-182 discography podcast that goes through the entire catalog of Blink-182, Boxcar Racer, and Plus 44, and going through all those songs track by track, sometimes with guests, including myself. I've guested on a few episodes and will be featured later on in this first season. It's a great podcast, really short episodes, quick listens, one of those great podcasts to sit and binge for a couple hours. So you can check that podcast out on iTunes. It's also available on blink226racer.wordpress.com. You can find the blog there, which has all the different episodes and everything like that. So make sure you give that a listen. So that's going to do it for shout-outs this week. So let's go back to the show and let's tell another story. And we are back from break. It was a good break. It was a productive break, wasn't it?
What did you do?
I did a promo. I did like ad, not necessarily ad reads, but I gave shout outs.
That's nice.
Which is fun. What did you do?
I ran a marathon.
What?
Yeah, I ran a marathon.
We were gone like 5 minutes.
No. I ran a marathon.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Man, I'm out of shape.
I'm not, because I just ran a marathon.
Okay, I get it. You ran a marathon.
Within this time period, now I ran a triathlon.
Okay, now you're just lying because you're literally sitting in front of me.
No, I did it.
All right, well, while the Flash here figures out what she needs to do and figures out how...
I'm not the Flash. I'm just an amazing human being.
Wow, okay. I'm very confused. I'm thoroughly confused with this bit and where it's going.
I'm thoroughly... I can't say it.
Exactly.
Because you want to know why I'm so tired from my marathon and my triathlon.
Jesus Christ.
So.
All right, so with that being said, for this... For the second half of the episode here, now that Lynn's done with her bits...
it's not a bit.
Yeah, okay. What we like to do here in the second half of our episodes, I use a website called fantasynamegenerators.com. And on that website, there is a book title generator. And with that, we're going to spin on some genres of books, and it'll give us some randomly generated titles. We'll pick a few that we like, and then choose one to ultimately tell the story behind. So, Lynn, is there a particular genre you want to focus on today?
Action.
All right. So adventure, basically.
Yeah, same thing.
All right. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there's a couple in here that I like that I want to just I'll give to you, and then you tell me which one you like.
Do it
here. So I like Hunters Without Courage, Horses and Lords, and Women and Gangsters.
Okay.
As well as Completion of Insanity.
Whoa, that's a lot to unpack right there.
Is there one out of that you like?
I say spin again.
Spin again. All right. Okay, so we have Robot with Determination, Snakes and Boys, Cats and Invaders.
Snakes and Boys?
Okay.
Cats
and Invaders, Battle the West, and Leading the East. Those feel like that feels like two parts to the same story.
I was about to ask, is that like just a really long title?
No, it's two separate titles. I kind of like Snakes and Boys.
I think we did a snake episode.
Did we already?
Like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we did, or maybe that was before the break.
All right, I'll spin again.
Okay.
Some of these aren't that good. All right, here we go. Strangers and owls. Praise the demons.
Oh my God.
Girl of the curse. Snakes of dusk. Thieves and butchers. And did I say wolves of earth?
No, you did not.
Okay.
I quite like thieves and butchers.
Thieves
My
and
bad.
butchers.
I like that.
I kind of like that too. Should we stick with that?
Let's stick with that.
All right. So, for the first and last time, we present to you the story of Thieves and Butchers.
So the small town of Butcheteria, they were known to steal from the farmers and give to the soup kitchens.
Yes.
They kind of cut out the middleman in production.
Yeah, it was very much a Robin Hood scenario where
Right. But it didn't need to be a Robin Hood scenario. It's like, just why?
Yeah.
Like, why are you stealing my cow?
Yeah, I mean, and they weren't. It's not like they were taking butchered cows. They were taking live cows.
Yeah, and then getting them butchered.
Yeah.
Like, fucked up shit, man.
Yeah, and unfortunately it was one thief in particular. It was one thief whose name was gosh, I can't think of it. Who was it?
Hoodie Robinson.
Hoodie Robinson.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Good old Hoodie.
Good old Hoodie. Good old Hoodie was the one that was responsible for all this.
Right.
He grew up in a poor neighborhood and wanted to give back. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the only way he knew how to do so was to steal.
Yeah. So never give back to that one person.
Yeah.
But everyone else gets a tiny little piece.
Yeah.
Of that person's stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So Hoodie Robinson made it his life's mission to steal all of the cows from the entire surrounding area and give them to the local soup kitchens and put all the butchers out of business. But there was one butcher in particular that kept very, very good care of his farm and wasn't going to let anybody take any of his cows.
Yeah, good old Grom Thrutch.
Grom Thrutch.
Yeah. That's a good name.
Grom.
It's a family name.
Oh yes, the Thrutch family.
The Thrutch.
The Thrutch family. 7 generations of butchers.
Yeah.
Is in the Thrutch family.
Mm-hmm.
You had Grom. Grom is the latest generation. Mm-hmm. Grim was the previous. Then Graham. Then Grem. Then Greem.
Mm-hmm. Then Groom.
Then Groom. And then
one more?
Grime.
Grime, yeah, Grime. Forgot about good old Grime.
Yeah.
That good old grimy man.
Yeah. So seven generations of
Thrutch? Maybe
Thrutch. Thrutch. Should I stop and we listen back?
No, we'll go with Thrutch. We just can't forget this time.
Yes, Thrutch. Wow. We said it 30 seconds previously and we forget.
It's not a word.
It's not really a word. I think it was Thrutch.
I'm going to say it's Thrutch.
Thrutch, yes. So Grom Thrutch, right? It was Grom Thrutch.
Why can't you remember his beautiful name?
It was Grom Thrutch.
Grom Thrutch.
Yes.
Good old Grom Thrutch, the thief butcher.
Yes, the thief butcher. He had actually started out life as a thief, but then changed his ways, realized he could make more money by just actually, being a real butcher and helping people as opposed to taking from people.
Right.
He could actually, he always wanted to help people, but he thought the way to do so was to steal, and then he didn't realize until later in life that wasn't going to get you anywhere. So
right. So he started stealing or butchering.
He started butchering what other people stole, actually. Mm-hmm. He stole back what thieves stole from other butchers and then butchered that
so
stuff.
The thief, just to get this straight for everyone, the thief would steal and then give to the butcher. The butcher would then give back, including to the person who was originally stolen from.
So the thief would steal from a butcher who was unrelated to Throm.
Duh.
And then the Throm.
Why are you going with his last name?
Grom Thrutch. It's Thrutch. I said Throm.
He's got a beautiful name. Use it.
Thrutch.
No.
Grom Thrutch. Grom Thrutch is his name.
It's probably changed like 12 times by now.
Grom Thrutch would then steal from the thief who stole from another butcher so that he could help other people.
But how did Grom get... Oh, I see what you mean.
He stole from the thieves. Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking of the way that like the thieves gave to Grom to butcher.
Uh-huh.
Or yeah, it's his name, Grom.
His name is Grom. We're really getting off track.
Oh shit!
This was a bad idea.
Grom was good.
Yes, Grom was good.
He was putting a dent in the Thieves Guild.
Yes.
And they were getting a little worried. They're like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?"
And Hoodie Robinson was a leader of this guild.
Yeah, Hoodie was like, "Man, I'm losing some steam with my group.
I'm all out of ideas, man.
I mean, I can keep stealing, but what's that gonna do?
I'm just gonna get stolen from more and more. What am I supposed to do?"
So he's decided. He's like, you know what? We're gonna catch this thief of thieves.
Yes.
And then we're gonna sit him down and be like, "What the fuck?"
We're gonna have a real stern talking with him.
Right. So they set up a trap.
Mm-hmm.
May 28th of 1807.
1807. Yes.
Was the day of the farm animals.
Yes.
Hoodie Robinson and his group stole 50 cows, 25 chickens, 13 goats,
12
turkeys, and about 5 horses,
mm-hmm.
For good luck.
Right.
And put them all in their little thieves' den. And it smelled.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in the corners, hid Hoodie Robinson and his Thieves Guild. Because by now, Grom had been stealing from them so much that the numbers have definitely dwindled with the Thieves Guild. And it was about, I would say, roughly 25 people. Mm-hmm. So they all just kind of like crouched around stuff and hid in the corner. And just made sure that they were nice and hid. Mm-hmm. And they waited. And waited.
And waited.
And waited. Wait a little bit longer.
Until Grom finally emerged from his home.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later. They sat outside and they feasted on
it smelled like shit in that room.
It really did. But luckily they had leftover, they had leftover bread from weeks prior. They weren't eating any of the meat because they didn't want to use any of that.
No, they couldn't.
That was to feed the people.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't eat any of that. So they survived on bread and rainwater for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Until Grom finally emerged from his home to notice that his entire field was empty.
Grom was like, these bastards.
Mm-hmm.
He
knew exactly what happened.
These punks. These little duty butts.
I don't think punks was a word back then.
I feel like Grom would use the word punk
to
describe punks.
Yeah.
I think he would use that.
Yeah.
Seems like the kind of man that would do that.
Yeah.
So Grom comes walking in, and he doesn't even try to steal. He just stands there, real tall, and shouts into the room, "I know you guys are here. Come out and face me like real people do." Mm-hmm. And they all kind of like peek their heads up.
There's just like 30 of them that just peek their head up and just like, huh?
Yeah. And then he's like, "Where is your leader?"
And then Hoodie Robinson jumps out from behind and flips over the top and lands on his feet. He's standing there just triumphantly. "It is I, Hoodie Robinson, the leader of this merry band of thieves."
And then Grom cuts him off in the middle of a sentence and just pushes him up against the wall. And he's like, "Man, what the fuck? Why did you steal my farm animals?"
And Hoodie Robinson says, "Well, it is to help the people. The people need food.
I am a person. I am a people.
You are hoarding all of these animals away from the people that could be fed. There's plenty of people here that
They were going to have their time. Not the horses. You shouldn't eat horses, but they were going to be in their own time. Look, I'm a free range farmer.
These people don't have time to wait. We have families with children waiting and starving for food."
You know what, Hoodie? They wouldn't be starving if you would just stop stealing people's animals. Yeah, that's right. Sigh. Who's the real monster here?
And so they both kind of stood there in a stalemate,
Grom just grimacing not grimacing, but like
sneering
the entire time.
Hoodie doing the same thing. Because they both were in the wrong. Mm-hmm. Grom was hoarding animals and wasn't butchering them. He became too attached.
Right. They all had their own name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when someone pops up and goes, "What if we all became vegetarians?"
and then Hoodie looked back and was like, "What do you mean, vegetarians?"
Well, like, we could use cows and chickens and make milk and have eggs, but just not eat meat. Like, still do the dairy stuff, but not eat the meat. I hear it's, like, good for your heart or something.
I never thought of that idea.
Yeah, I know. No one did till now. That was me. Hi, Persephone over here. Thought of the idea.
Now, the whole thing with Persephone is that Persephone has brought up this idea at numerous thief guild meetings.
Thief meetings, I was about to say.
It's appeared. Her request has appeared in the minutes of every thieves guild meeting for at least a decade.
Right, and everyone was just like, "Persephone, there's no such thing.
Yeah,
You fool."
We have animals for meat. There's nothing else they can provide.
And then she was like,
Yeah, but I haven't eaten like an animal in like 12 years, and I'm cool. I'm fine.
and so Hoodie Robinson thought long and hard about that and thought maybe this could work. Maybe this is something we could try. It can save a lot of people.
And Grom kind of nodded his head, and he goes, I've got a couple acres in the back of my farm. I could convert that into a nice little patch of land for vegetables to grow. Maybe a community garden of some sort.
Yeah. And Hoodie Robinson says, "That's a good idea.
If you want to come over and pick some of my fruits and distribute them.
And we'll come over and help you tend to the cows and the chickens and the turkeys and everything."
Yeah, man. And Grom puts out his hand.
And Hoodie puts out his hand.
And they do a nice good clap and shake.
Persephone goes, "Yeah, I have friends that are vegetarian now. I can start my blog finally."
And by blog, it was just basically...
It was like a newsletter she sent out.
It was just sheets of paper that she would just send out to the village every 3 weeks.
Try and draw herself, giving her little blurb on it.
Yeah.
Like kind of like vlog style, if you were like, take a screenshot. We're like, Persephone's really into this vegetarian thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that village ended up being one of the longest, one of the healthiest villages in the entire land because everybody switched to being a vegetarian.
I think I called it Butchetaria or something.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a name at some point.
It was Butchetaria.
It was a Butchetaria? All right, go me. Butchetaria is still around today, and it's still the healthiest place to live.
But it has recently been renamed.
To what?
Vegetaria.
Oh, snap. And guess what? Persephone, the 85th, is queen.
She is queen. She's still alive, thanks to the magic of vegetarianism.
Oh, Persephone the first is still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive.
Shit.
She's still kicking. But all the
her.
Persephones, first through 85th, they're still alive.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Vegetarianism is real, folks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The end?
The end.
All right.
That was quite a story.
I liked it.
I did too. That was good. That was
my favorite was Persephone and that guy I can't remember.
Grom Thrutch.
Sure.
Grom Thrutch.
I named him and I can't.
Our listeners are probably going to hear 3 different names and be very confused.
Dude, these people are bad with consistency, and guess what? You are right, because I gave a character a name that's not even a name.
Yep, folks. So
welcome to my brain.
Yes, welcome to our brains. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today. I mean, we told 2 stories. We did our thing, Yeah,
we did the podcasting.
We did the podcasting thing.
Evan, where can people find you?
Yes, so people can find me on Twitter at @E_Williamson93. I'm posting my thoughts and rambles over there on a regular basis. I'm trying to do more of that. If you're ever in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania area looking for some good comedy shows, you can find me every second and fourth Saturday as part of the Improv Comedy Power Hour at Steel Stacks in Bethlehem, PA. I'm with the team Four Eyes, and there's also another team, Super Taster, that are Steel Stacks' house teams. So if you're interested in that show or any other shows going on at Steel Stacks, go to www.steelstacks.org/comedy for more information. And Lynn, where can people find you?
I'm simple. Go to Ann Lynn at AYNNELNN on Twitter, and that's where I am.
Cool.
I go there the most. I haven't been tweeting much lately. I've kind of been taking my break on the internets and just
On the socials.
perusing.
Yeah, being a lurker.
Right, but I'll probably come back eventually, probably soon, knowing me. And that's pretty much all I do. Whenever I do anything online, that's where I post it.
Yeah.
We have another podcast.
Yes, which actually we're going to be releasing the next episode of this Friday.
Yes.
Yes.
I had to think about that for a moment.
This Friday.
This Friday. I'm doing it a little bit earlier to make up for like the 3-month break we had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this episode, it's our podcast, if you're interested, is called Nostalgia Cops.
Yes.
And it's where we go back and we rewatch old childhood shows that we may know a lot about and may not know a lot about, and then we kind of critique it through an adult's eye.
Yes.
And this week we're doing Totally Spies.
Yes.
Which Evan didn't really watch as a kid.
No, never did.
So.
Don't really remember watching it. So it'll definitely be an interesting listen. So if you want to listen to our other episodes of that show, which are the first one was about Dexter's Laboratory and the second one was about Code Lyoko, you can find those shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or Spotify, actually. And speaking of this show, you can find Read Between. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, as well as our website on Pinecast. So there's plenty of places to check out this show. Also, you can find us on social media using Twitter. You can find us at readbetweencast. You can find us on Instagram at readbetweencast. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/readbetweencast.
Hey, if you got like something you want to send us, by the way, we got an email
We do
that
have
we
an
like to
email.
throw out once in a while.
Yeah.
It's called readbetweencast@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us your comments, send us your feedback, send us your ideas, and if we use one of your ideas on the show, we'll make sure to throw you some credit and make sure you are known to everybody that listens to the show. So
all 20 of them. I'm kidding.
oh, there's more than that.
There is more than that.
Yeah,
I love all of you. You're all wonderful.
Yes, you are all wonderful. And with that being said, I think we're gonna end it here for this week. So thank you very much for listening. We will see you guys on Friday for the next episode of Nostalgia Cops. And we will see you next Monday with a brand new episode of Read Between. So take care. Have a great week. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.